Hey everyone, it's Queen Tajay here, and I am back with another video, of course. And in this video, I will be showing the difference between a nail tip and a nail form, which is this, and I will also show how to apply it. A nail tip is just something plastic that goes onto your natural nail. It shouldn't be too flimsy, but it shouldn't be too hard either. And it has a number at the bottom, so you know what size you wear. I believe this is a size 2 tip, so this one would probably be a 4. Yeah, this one would be a 4 if I was using it on this hand. I mean this finger, sorry. So yeah, let's get started. I've already prepped the nails as if it was a real client. I didn't do the best because again, it is a fake hand, but you know, I did it just enough prep so that my acrylic can stay. And I have my acrylic as well. I will be using this pink from Nails by Latisse. As you all know, I took her class about a year ago, maybe even 2. And I love this color, and I love how this acrylic sits and everything like that. So let's get started. I'm just making sure my brush is clean. Okay, now it is. So I like to mix my acrylic up. And am I the only one who cleans my whole brush, or is that weird? I don't know. Nail techs, you tell me. So for the nail tip, I don't have to build the nail from scratch. However, it is a lot of prepping at first, and that is a perfect bead right there. So you lay your acrylic, kind of bounce it off if it doesn't go off right away, and then you pat it downward, making sure you get each side, and if you need more monomer to kind of help you slide it, then you can do so. And you just want to pat it all the way down to the free edge, making sure you keep your shape. I always say that. Make sure you keep that shape, and that way you don't have to foul a lot at the end of your service. That it helps you get the nail as perfect as possible, so it's less fouling. Less fouling means more clients that can come in your chair. It means more money. It means that you get to perfect your craft on someone else. So we're going to do another bead, and I want about a medium size as well. So this is a medium. And it also depends on your brush, because your medium may not be my medium. And a lot of people forget to mention that because the size of your brush. So if my medium is bigger to you and you have a size 12 or, well, a size 8 or something, then yeah, my size 12 to 14 will be bigger and look like a large bead to you. Now, I do suggest that you have a big brush, like a size between 14 to 16, in my opinion, if you're doing longer nails, because it helps you apply that acrylic faster. You don't want to be one of those people working with a size 8 brush on long nails or extra long nails. I want this medium as well. Extra long nails, and you know, it's taking you a minute or longer to do a set because you don't have a bigger brush. Not saying it has to be the same size as mine, but it can definitely help you. And for the cuticle bead, I did not put the bead onto the cuticle or very, very close. I'm kind of flattening it out so it can then go to the cuticle. And once I like what I see, or if it starts to dry faster than I expected, then I go ahead and just blend it. Okay? Just blend it. Only time you wipe your bead is if you're trying to blend it into another one, or you have too much product. Sometimes, depending on the product I use, some products are more runny. I'm getting a smaller bead, like so. Okay. Some products are more runnier than others. Nails by Latisse is a great consistency. I need to know her formula. But yeah, and so if I want to put more here, because it's a fake hand, I don't want to get this acrylic on my hand because I would have to soak it as if it's a real client, and then it could possibly mess up the silicone. But I'm still going to do it, and let me put my monomer in the screen. I always clean my brush, always. Okay, I'm going to dip it. Sometimes I wipe it, sometimes I just tap it. This time I'm going to tap it, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Smaller one, but it's a wetter bead. I wanted a wetter bead because I don't want it too thick around her cuticle. Him or her. I don't care who comes to me. I don't know why people are so picky about if a man could come to them or not. It's weird. But anyways, and that was my cuticle bead right there. Okay. And I got a little cloth. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to make sure I got as much as that shaped up. Okay. And I can turn it. You don't see much on the sides. If I want, because this is a sheer color, I can, oh, that wasn't nothing. I could get a smaller bead, and I barely even counted that because I knew that I didn't need much. But if you want to do this and kind of wipe it off, make sure it's not under the nail, then you're good. And that will be the same for a real client. Now, this color is sheer, so you're going to see some sheer, but I wanted it to be darker for the most part. So yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Now I'm going to do a nail form. A nail form is a piece of paper, okay? And I'm going to show you how to apply it on. I do not use these nail forms on my client. I've had these for years. They are not the best nail forms, so that's why I use them on fake hands or myself if I'm practicing. Okay, get this circle. Put this circle on back of this piece of paper to strengthen it, okay? And then you want to make a little C curve. A C curve is this portion of your nail. This portion of your nail is a C curve. You put that on, okay? Now, like I said, these may not stick. And I know they won't because they are garbage. I think these are from C&D. I'm not sure. But this is how you put it on. Now, because this isn't sticking, I'm going to try some other nail forms. I just didn't want to waste them. But let's see. This is a different type of nail form. Okay? The adhesive on both are not as good, but I think this one is better than the last nail form. Now, okay. And I'm going to pinch that. Pinch it, make sure my nail is okay. And now I'm going to go in with my acrylic, okay? So for this, it's going to be the same thing, but this time I am going to be using a nail form. That's the only difference, okay? And I'm getting smaller beads because it's better for me to work with smaller beads on a nail form that's this small, because when I use Coupa Ink's nail forms, I literally have no problem using bigger beads as if I was doing it on a nail tip. And this first bead is just to get sidewall by sidewall for me. Some people do their nail forms differently, but I'm showing you my way. So if someone else teaches you another way and you get the same outcome, then you did not lose anything. And I think I'm going to do this one shorter. And I'm, like I said, smaller beads. I'm going to do this nail shorter just because the nail form isn't that good. So, yeah. The first bead, you pat it down to whatever length you want. Try to shape it as much as possible as you go. As always, doesn't matter what we are doing. If we are on a nail tip or a nail form, make sure you shape it as you go. That way you do not have what? A lot of fouling to do. Okay, see how I just shaped that? Going back in. I want a small bead again. Why? Because I'm working on this small canvas and I don't want my acrylic to go everywhere. So I'm going to put it close to her cuticle, but not on it. I'm going to pat, 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 not touching her cuticle area. Once I get to that side wall, blend it. I'm do the same thing on this one. Pat, pat, pat. Get as close to her cuticle as possible. Why am I sounding like this? I'm so passionate. And then blend it, okay? Now, again, this is a sheer color, so I got it how I want it, but I think I want to add a little bit more right here. It's acrylic on there, but not much. So, again, sometimes I wipe my brush. Sometimes I tap my brush before picking up my acrylic. But guess what? I'm still not touching my client's cuticle, if I can help it, because sometimes, you know, they move. Sometimes your brush just has this mind of its own. That's why you have to control it and be like, hey, look, I own you. You don't own me. You go where I tell you to go. Yeah, see, that's a little too sheer for me. It's going to look like I didn't put any acrylic there. So I'm just going over both. Again, not touching my client's skin. I'm literally underneath her cuticle. Once I like what I see, I'm going to blend it. It's still going to be sheer at the end, but I'm fine with that. Actually, no, I'm not. It's going to irritate me just a little bit. So, and if I want, and it doesn't matter how many beads that you use, but you definitely, in my opinion, want to minimize it because it's faster. That's all it is. It's just faster. And there you go. So you have a nice clean cuticle area. You have the apex. You have a nice free edge. And everything is covered. And everything is covered. Okay? As always, I just clean my brush because I know I'm heavy-handed and all that good stuff. And I always close my acrylic and either move your monomer or put something over it so when you foul, it doesn't get in there. Because that can also mess up the consistency of your beads. So now I'm going back. I'm tapping. That means it's done. I normally go like this and then straighten it. Normally go underneath. And the reason why I go underneath to move that skin from that nail like this is on there. Move that skin. Foul it and then straighten it. No matter what I do, I'm going to always keep my shape. I'm going to always keep my shape no matter what. And then I'm going to hold her nails, okay? Hold where her natural nail would be and just go over. And if you hear water, that is my washer. So I'm sorry if it's irritating you. And then I will go to the cuticle area. Remember, this is a fake hand, so can't do what I wanna. Only what I'm gonna. So I'm not gonna foul too much. You can also use your e-file, but you know, I don't feel like taking it out. This is a last minute video. And the longer nail, the thicker the apex should be. So your C curve, remember this is your C curve. Your C curve shouldn't be too thick. But this is your apex. The apex strengthens your nail. Even with the shorter nail, it has an apex. Even with the nails I have, apex. Apex. They're old, but apex. That way, if they do break, they're going to break underneath the apex and not on top, which means that your real nail can potentially be broken in half or injured or bruised. Because we all, you know, we have daily lives that we upkeep. All of us can't live bad and bougie and sedity. I'm speaking sedity in my existence. To existence. Okay. And there we go. So I had a cotton thing earlier, so I'm going to reuse it. Again, never reuse stuff on your clients, but I used this when I was prepping. So let me get some alcohol. Even though this says polish remover, it's not. Okay. The polish remover is another one that says polish remover, but it's in a red container. Okay. And now I probably should have waited on that, but now I'm going to file this one. Again, once you hear that click, that means it's ready. Do the same thing. This is a fake hand, so I can't be too harsh. Even though I'm heavy-handed, that's why I'm kind of going slower than I normally do when I make my videos with my clients. And this nail underneath is loose. I didn't glue it too much. Probably should have, but I did not. So again, this is my second time ever working on this hand, and I don't want to mess it up because it cost me $135. I'm not about to play about this hand. I'll fight somebody over this hand. I'm just kidding. And then I might even do some nail art on top of it. Yeah, that's what we go do. Let me see something. I don't know what I did with that. Oh, I was about to say that alcohol swipe. Boom, just like that. Straight like that. Okay, straight like that. So I'm then going to take one of my favorite top coats. Well, really it's my favorite, so my favorite top coat. And it is by C-Tones. As you all know, I pretty much use C-Tones for the most part. I don't really use anyone else's products. Yeah, I just prefer C-Tones, but I'm starting to get into other brands as well. Other black brands and minority. Because y'all know how we do over here. We don't tap dance. Let's just say that. So I'll just put that on 30 seconds. I'm then going to look at this. I don't like that side piece. There we go. I'm then going to add my top coat. Oh, I'm running out of top coat. No, ma'am. I don't think I got more top coat. I hope I got more top coat. Well, have, not got, but have more top coat. I hope I have more top coat. And so, yeah. And I'm going to cure that for about 30 seconds. Fail polish. Okay, I ain't got time to be playing with this. Okay. And sometimes you can kind of buff after you after you cure, to make sure that you still can keep your shape. Try not to foul too hard, and know it will not peel if you kind of lightly buff. Yeah, it will not peel. And now I guess I can take, I really don't want to do this, but I just might have to get me a 3D brush. Make sure it's clean, and then go in with a bead of acrylic. And you can do a regular one or just flatten it out like so. I'm gonna do the flat out method. And I'm going to do it all the way around. That bead might be a little too small, but we're gonna let it sit for a couple seconds and kind of do that. You can do a flower like that, or you can do one like this, which is opening it, making it into a C curve, and opening it, kind of flattening it, going in with the second bead. I'm actually going to draw this one. I'm going to make a C curve. And do that. And do another one over here. Sometimes you can do 2, sometimes you can do 3. Flowers are never perfect, so I don't really get into the whole, oh, it doesn't look like this person's flower. I don't care what another nail tech does with their flowers. Flowers are not the same. Okay? So you won't make me feel bad because mine don't look like yours. You have to get out of that headspace, ladies and gentlemen. And then I'll put it in the middle like so, like that. And then probably do a little leaf or something. Wiping off my brush is all I just did. And I'm going to have this look like a teardrop or a leaf. I don't like that, so I'm going to scratch that off. But yeah. And if you want, you can go over it with your top coat, but y'all know how I feel about wasting too much product on a fake hand or nail. But that's how I do my nail tips, nail sculpts, and my miniature flowers. It depends on what type of flower they want. This has glitter, so it doesn't have the consistency that I would like in order to do my real 3D flowers. But it came out pretty great. Tell me what you think.